Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn a poem for standard 8, that is 4.1. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. The poem has been written and composed by John Keats, who was born in 1795 and passed away in 1821. He was an English poet. He was one were the most popular of all British Romantic poets. His poems are characterized by imagery from nature that appealed to one's verses and senses. The present poem, A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever, is the first stanza of a longer poem, Endymion, based on Greek mythology. The first line has become proverbial. The poem was first published in 1818. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but still will keep a bower quiet for us and a sleep. So, in these four lines, the poet says that the thing of a natural beauty, the beauty of nature, is happiness permanently, eternal, and its loveliness, its affection increases. It will never pass into nothingness. It will not go downside. It will not be decreased. It will ever be increased. But still will keep a bower quiet for us. Bower means a pleasant shady place under trees or climbing plants. There we can take rest, full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. Therefore, on every morrow, morrow means the following day, that is tomorrow, are we reading? Reading means covering, a flowery band to bind us to the earth. So the poet says in these four lines that there we can get a sleep where we can have so many dreams. That sleep which was full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. There we can relax. There we can feel healthy. And therefore, that's why on every next morning, where we are covering a flowering band to bind us to the earth, there we can have so many natural beautiful things, and that beauty will be increased. Spite of despondence. Spite of despondence. Spite means desire to offend or annoy something is called spite, and despondence means desire to offend, annoy something. Spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth. Dearth means shortage. So, spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth of noble nature, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits Search the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon. Boon means a gift. So in this last line, trees old and young, there is a figure of speech antithesis. And in the line, some shape of beauty moves away the pole. In this line, there is a figure of speech personification. The human quality of moving is given to the non-living things. Therefore, the figure of speech is personification. And in the lines of noble natures, so see, the figure of speech starts from of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways. In this line, there is a figure of speech anticlimax. The ideas are arranged in descending order. So poet says through these lines that the beauty of nature always increases. For simple sheep, and such are daffodils. Daffodils, that is a name of a flower. With the green world they live in, and such type of flowers live in the green world. And clear reels. Reels means streams that for themselves a cooling covert make. Covert means not openly known or displayed. Against the hot season, the mid forest break. Break is an archaic word. It means fades. Rich with a sprinkling of fair mask rose blooms, and such too is the grandeur of the dooms. Dooms means last day of existence known or displayed. We have imagined for the mighty dead. So poet says that we have imagined, we have fancied for such, for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read, and all the beautiful things whatever we have read or heard, an endless fountain of immortal drink, the fountain which never ends, that is the fountain of immortal drink, which cannot be passed away, pouring unto us from the heavens brink. Brink means ages, and from the heavens brink, such type of things pour on us. Now, nor do we merely feel these essences. For one short hour, move even as the trees that whisper round a temple. The students bracket from even as the trees to round a temple. There is a figure of speech personification, that the trees, even as the trees that whisper round a temple. So a human quality of whispering is given to non-living thing. Therefore the figure of speech is personification. A temple becomes soon dear as the temple's self, so does the moon. The passion poesy. Poesy means poetry. Glories infinite. So in this line, the sound of P is repeated. So the figure of speech is alliteration haunt us till they become a cheering light unto our souls and bound to us so fast that whether there be shine or gloom overcast, they always must be with us or we die. And the poet says that all the beautiful things from the nature are always with us, and that beauty of nature will always be increased. So he says that a thing of beauty, whatever present in the nature, are joys, happiness, bliss for us forever, permanently, eternal. They are not temporary, they are permanent for us. So, students, in this way, the poet John Keats had appreciated, praised about the nature through the poem. Thank you.